Well, before we dive into this electric vehicle analysis, I want you to take on the role of Bruce Haryali, Chief of Athlete Motors India. Our North American electric vehicle game is strong, but in India we are barely on the map. Let's make our mark. Firstly, let's take a look at the top and bottom makers in the two-wheeler EV market for the years 23 and 24. In 23, major players like Ola Electric dominated the two-wheeler market, while smaller brands like Pure EV and Jitendra struggled to gain traction. By 24, Ola Electric maintained its lead, significantly increasing its sales. Meanwhile, TVS and Ather made strong entries into the top ranks, replacing brands like Okinawa and Hero Electric, which dropped off the top list. Despite the challenges, there's potential for the bottom-tier brands to rethink their strategies and compete more effectively in the market, especially as the demand for two-wheeler EVs continues to grow. Now, what's the penetration rate of EVs? It's nothing but the rate at which EVs are hitting the road out of the total vehicles. And in 2024, some states are leading in EV adoption while others lag behind. Goa and Kerala emerged as the top states for EV penetration. Goa led in two-wheeler EV penetration with 18%, while Kerala took the lead in the four-wheeler category with 6%. And interestingly, Kerala, Karnataka and Delhi appear in the top 5 for both two-wheelers and four-wheelers. In some regions, though, there's a negative penetration rate, or you can say a decline in EV adoption. Sales in Ladakh and Andaman and Nicobar are dipping from 2022 to 2024. Both regions showed early promise, but trends reveal a drop in EV adoption by 2024. I think introducing hybrids and better infrastructure could turn things around. The four-wheeler EV market in India saw varying performances among the top makers between 2022 and 2024. Tata Motors consistently led the charge, showing a strong upward trajectory in sales. Meanwhile, Mahindra and Mahindra struggled to maintain momentum, and MG Motor, BYD India and Hyundai had more modest, stable performances. But as the market evolves, there's room for the underperforming brands to innovate and catch up, potentially reshaping the competitive landscape. Now, this is the graph showing CAGR for top 5 makers in four-wheelers. The compound annual growth rate, that is nothing but a CAGR. What's that? It's a measure of how fast something grows over a specific period, considering the growth rate every year. It's like averaging the growth over time to give you a single consistent rate. In this case, BYD India has the highest CAGR, meaning it grew the fastest between 22 and 24. Even though BYD India has the highest growth rate, it started with fewer sales. That's why its percentage growth looks big. On the other hand, Tata Motors might not have grown as fast, but it sold the most vehicles consistently. So while CAGR tells us how fast a company is catching up, the total sales volume tells us who is leading the market. In 2024, Karnataka outpaces Delhi in EV market penetration with a rate of 10.18% compared to Delhi's around 8%. Well, Karnataka's higher penetration rate can be attributed to state-level policies promoting EV adoption, such as subsidies and dedicated EV infrastructure. Additionally, Bangalore's tech-savvy population and the presence of EV manufacturing hubs contribute to this growth. While in contrast, Delhi, despite having supportive policies, faces challenges like traffic congestion and a slower rollout of charging infrastructure, which may hinder faster adoption. But with focused efforts to improve infrastructure and address specific challenges, Delhi could accelerate its EV adoption, bridging the gap with states like Karnataka. States like Meghalaya, Goa, and Karnataka are leading in vehicle sales growth from 2022 to 2024 with notable CAGR figures. While these states show potential for market expansion, it's crucial to recognize that this growth isn't driven solely by EVs. Traditional vehicles still dominate, which raises questions about the long term viability of an EV focused strategy in these regions. Atlic Motors should approach these markets with a balanced strategy, taking into account both the current and the broader market trends. As we can see, EV sales hit their peak in March, reaching a high point each year while June consistently shows the lowest sales. March peak is likely driven by fiscal year end incentives and consumer urgency to make purchases before the new financial year. In contrast, the mid-year lull in June may be due to a general slowdown in market activities. By recognizing these trends, we can align our marketing and sales strategies to boost sales during slower months and maximize gains during peak periods. Here, as we can see, Maharashtra and Kerala are projected to dominate EV sales by 2030 with over 30 million and nearly 12 million units respectively. These projections are based on the state's strong growth trends in recent years. Gujarat and Karnataka also show potential, but there's a noticeable gap between these and the top two states. Looking at the charts, we can see that growth in two-wheeler and four-wheeler EV sales has slowed down from 22 to 24. For two-wheelers, the growth slowdown from 22 to 24 might be due to the market hitting saturation, with most early buyers already owning EVs. Economic factors like inflation and reduced spending power are also making it harder for new buyers. Additionally, the second-hand market for EVs is struggling. People are hesitant to buy the used EVs due to concerns about battery life, which impacts overall demand. For four-wheelers, the higher cost and slow rollout of charging stations are major barriers. Range anxiety, worrying about how far they can drive on a single charge, also plays a big role. Furthermore, the reluctance to buy second-hand EVs due to battery concerns is even more pronounced in this segment. These factors and more combined are slowing down the growth in four-wheeler sales. Alright, now let's break it down and see what's really happening with the EV scene. EVs and CAFE regulations. With a strict CAFE, that is Corporate Average Fuel Efficiency Norms, OEMs means original equipment manufacturers must include EVs in their portfolios to avoid regulatory penalties. Even manufacturers like Maruti, traditionally focused on petrol and hybrid vehicles, are now entering the EV space to meet these norms. Subsidies and fiscal support. There's a universal belief that until EV penetration reaches around 15 to 20%, fiscal support is crucial. Currently, with only about 2% penetration in the personal vehicle space, EVs rely heavily on subsidies and lower taxes for their demand. We have green hydrogen as an alternative. Green hydrogen is generated by splitting water using electricity from renewable sources. Unlike EVs, which still have a carbon footprint due to a battery production, green hydrogen offers a cleaner alternative. However, its efficiency in small vehicles like cars is questionable, as Toyota's trials showed inefficiencies. It holds more promise for large vehicles or heavy vehicles such as trucks, ships, and planes. We have safety concerns as well in EV. EV safety is a growing concern. Recent incidents in both India and South Korea showed EVs catching fire, which impacts consumer confidence. This is another factor to consider alongside the environmental and cost benefits. Let's see global EV demand. While EV demand is falling globally, China remains an exception, mainly due to their extensive control over the entire EV supply chain, from battery manufacturing to infrastructure development. Other regions, including India, are struggling with lower demand and slower adoption. Firstly, cost savings. EVs offer significant savings on fuel and maintenance, making them attractive in the long run, especially with rising fuel prices. Second, environmental concerns. Many buyers are motivated by reducing carbon emissions and supporting cleaner energy, aligning with global environmental goals. Third, government incentives. Subsidies, tax breaks, and other incentives make EVs more affordable upfront. Manufacturers like Maruti are also entering the EV market to meet regulations like CAFE norms. Then there's depreciation impact as well. EVs tend to depreciate faster than petrol cars primarily due to battery concerns and fast evolving technology. This can affect resale value, but buyers are weighing this against government incentives and long-term savings. Government incentives such as subsidies and tax benefits have significantly reduced the upfront cost of EVs, making them more affordable for customers. For two-wheelers, states like Delhi, Maharashtra, and Karnataka have played a big role in promoting EV adoption through these subsidies. However, experts say the current EV penetration in India is still low, especially in the personal vehicle space at around 2%. There's a universal view that EVs need continued fiscal support through subsidies or lower taxes until we reach 15 to 20% penetration. Without this, shaky demand may persist, slowing the growth of EV adoption. The availability of charging stations directly impacts EV sales and penetration rates. States like Maharashtra and Kerala with better infrastructure see higher EV adoption. In contrast, states with fewer stations experience slower growth as range anxiety remains a concern for potential buyers. Expanding the charging network is crucial to boost sales and adoption. In my opinion, instead of spending big on celebrities, Atlic Motors can connect better with these cost-effective, relatable ambassadors. First, Everyday Heroes. Featuring eco-conscious citizens like teachers, activists, shows EVs are accessible for everyone and rooted in real change. Then we have tech influencers. Partnering with tech and EV YouTubers target the right audience, people already interested in green tech and innovation. Then customer ambassadors. Your first buyers can authentically share their stories, making future customers trust the brand more. Then there's option of quirky mascot also. A fun mascot create a memorable viral presence that appeals across ages, keeping the brand playful yet impactful. Then we can run community campaigns as well. Partnering with schools or businesses using EVs shows Atlic supports local efforts and environmental responsibility. Based on factors like subsidies, ease of doing business, and stable governance, Gujarat stands out as the ideal state for setting up an EV manufacturing unit. Gujarat offers substantial incentives for EV production, including tax breaks and land subsidies. It consistently ranks high in ease of doing business due to its industry-friendly policies and robust infrastructure. Additionally, the state's political stability and commitment to renewable energy align well with Atlic's EV goals. Other states like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu are also competitive, but Gujarat's proactive approach towards EV manufacturing gives it the edge. Now, top 3 recommendations for Atlic would be launch hybrid and affordable EV models. Offer both hybrid and mid-range EV options to attract a broader customer base, balancing cost savings and environmental benefits. Secondly, set up manufacturing in subsidy-friendly states. Establish production in states like Maharashtra or Karnataka to take advantage of subsidies, lower production costs, and enhance market reach. Thirdly, focus on safety, hybrid tech, and charging infrastructure. Prioritize safety features, hybrid technology, and expand charging stations to address range anxiety and improve consumer confidence.